The Souls series, including Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and Dark Souls 2, are intricate, sophisticated games offering deep gameplay, intriguing lore, and many, many deaths. A majority of those deaths come from the hands, talons, and swords of the many bosses lurking in the story depths. With Bloodborne about to infect the entire office, we decided it was time to rank our favorites. Some of these terrors made the list because the mechanics at work during their encounters are so ingenious. Others have such an impressive atmosphere and feel that they simply couldn't be ignored. There's no way to finish these games without losing lots of lives, and it was a pleasure giving several of them up to these spectacular monstrosities. This is where Dark Souls truly begins. Everything until this point should be considered a tutorial leading up to this challenging encounter. First, the player is charged with ringing a bell in a tower. As they step onto the roof, a lone guardian swoops down to defend it. Just when you appear to have things under control, the guardian's partner comes to rain down fire and death. Winning this fight is one of the biggest confidence boosters for beginning players, instilling them with much needed hope for the challenges ahead. We faced many horrors in the Souls games, but nothing is more menacing than another human player. Countless times we've made great progress, only to be slain by a vicious invader. While all of the games feature PvP to varying degrees, one of our fondest brawls is with the Old Monk in Demon Souls. Those connected online have a chance to fight against a human-controlled version of the boss. Our hearts raced the first time we realized an unpredictable mind was behind the Turban Terror. Even more exhilarating is controlling the Old Monk yourself and stopping would-be demon slayers in their tracks. Although the Looking Glass Knight from Dark Souls 2 is in many ways a more complex version of the fight, the Old Monk gets credit for being the first. There's also something inherently appealing about the intimate one-versus-one nature of the battle. The fight against Maiden ASTRAEA is rather straightforward. In fact, it mostly doesn't involve the weak Maiden at all. Instead, the bulk of the battle is intended to be against Garl Vinland, her bodyguard, who's comparable to other humanoid enemies in the game. Yet the reason this encounter made the list is the story behind it. Maiden ASTRAEA is a priestess who visited the plague-stricken Valley of Defilement with the hope of aiding it. Tragically, the valley corrupted her in the process, turning her into an archdemon. Despite this, Vinland still protects her with his life. The only way to move forward is to slay the good-intentioned ASTRAEA and her honorable follower. She even pleads for you to leave them alone. The fight perfectly embodies the devastation and loss that rests at the heart of Demon Souls. Normally, we feel triumphant upon killing a boss. Murdering ASTRAEA just made us feel like the monsters. What's not to love about an enormous wolf that carries an absurdly big sword in its mouth? The companion of Artorias puts up an admirable fight by leaping around the battlefield and slicing in wide arcs. His attacks drain stamina in large chunks, often requiring players to be mobile and constantly aware of their position. While it's certainly not the most difficult encounter in the series, there's something about the feel of the fight and the look of Sif that sticks with us. He's simultaneously noble and threatening. Also, seeing him leap off his master's grave and pick up his trusty weapon is one of the more impressive and intimidating introductions in the game. The final boss of the final DLC from Dark Souls 2 separates himself from other fights based on sheer scope alone. Before the battle with the burnt Ivory King, you have to rescue captured knights that help in the epic skirmish by sealing portals. As you descend, with the knights by your side, all hell breaks loose as enemies attack you from all sides. The beautifully chaotic location is reminiscent of Mount Doom. The king is a relentlessly powerful warrior that attacks with incredible brute force. The stakes are high, and winning has a sense of purpose few other fights in the franchise possess. Deep within the inky blackness of the dark chasm of old resides the harrowing Dark Lurker, one of Dark Souls 2's optional bosses. Accessed only by completing the Pilgrims of Dark Covenant questline, Dark Lurker appears as a ragged angel. It casts powerful spells, teleports around, and even duplicates itself. The fight on its own is engaging, and the visual design of Dark Lurker is excellent. The cost of entry is completing 3 optional dungeons and a humanity per attempt, making it a very rewarding fight. One of the 4 Knights of Gwyn, Artorias, known as the Abyss Walker, is said to have made a pact with the creatures of the Abyss, gaining the ability to go where others cannot. Eventually, he was corrupted by the Abyss itself and set on a rampage through Ulasil until the chosen undead defeated the corrupted knight, leaving his honor intact. The fight is hyper-aggressive, forcing you to act defensively while Artorias flips around, swinging his greatsword and using the Abyss itself to harm you. Although he meets a tragic end, depending on your skill level, his legend will be passed on as the hero who saved the realm. The twisted heart of the Dark Souls DLC, Artorias of the Abyss, is Manus, known as the Father of the Abyss. In a terrible mistake, Manus was awakened from the grave of primeval man, and his corrupted humanity mutated Ulasil and its inhabitants. Not even Artorias himself was strong enough to resist the influence of the Abyss. It's unclear if Manus is himself the legendary furtive pygmy, who could be the progenitor of human life, but he certainly is a powerful primeval human. The fight is one of the most unforgiving in the series. Manus has the highest HP count in the game, and the gravity of the lore surrounding it makes the entire confrontation unforgettable. Coming from a land far to the east, Sir ALONNE served the old Iron King, helping him rise to power and then leaving at the peak of his rule. ALONNE resides in the memory of the old Iron King featured in the second Crowns Trilogy DLC. When entering his chamber, he gives a respectful nod to the player and charges with full force. His attacks are filled with grace and poise, and he exudes an elegant ferocity with every blow. The music and atmosphere complement the fight, creating a tense and beautiful tone that leaves us satisfied, yet saddened by his death. High atop the cliffs of Lordran rests the spectacular city of Anor Londo. While the reveal of this once great stronghold is among the most memorable moments in the franchise to date, it also plays home to the most memorable boss fight in the Soul Saga. The Dragon Slayer Ornstein, a nimble, lightning-wielding knight, has teamed up with the brutal and powerful executioner SMOUGH to form a pairing of yin and yang, each with strengths to complement the other's weaknesses. Victory over one of them is short-lived, as the survivor promptly steals the power of the fallen comrade. Their mastery in battle together can only be overcome with a balance of strategy and skill. Do you face Ornstein imbued with the strength of a fallen SMOUGH, or the mighty SMOUGH wielding the lightning powers of Ornstein? The choice is yours to make. Choose wisely.